jigs and bigs for this week's amazing show. We got a good one for you guys. It's Bobby Roast Beef, and I am here recording live on location in Alexandria Bay. Just fished the St. Lawrence River, and we have some stuff we got to talk about here, folks. It's been an amazing and humbling experience out here, but we're going to have ourselves some fun. We got Binny Outdoors in the house with me right here on location. We also have Who the Fuck is Joe Brown back in Massachusetts right now, and I think he's got some good news on the horizon. I don't know. We got a couple of good live well calls we got to talk about. We got information coming up about the 300th episode party that's happening in January. We got some info on some prizes that you can win if you're either there at the party or if you are with the live stream. And tickets are coming very, very soon. Guys, we'll see you in a bit. We got more jigs and friggin' bigs goodness coming up right after this. Let's go. You guys hear that? You hear that? The applause? People going nuts? Okay, shut up. That's just so that you guys are aware. That old applause sound effect, that is because we're recording on the old setup tonight. Joe, how are you, man? How are things in the Bay State?
Dude, it's wet. Is it wet there? Probably not, right?
No.
Yeah, we got that like nor'easter popping through. A little windy, a little wetty.
Really?
You know? Yeah, dude, it's actually, I'm surprised you guys can't hear it because I'm just like in my garage setup.
It's currently raining. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. It started probably, I got back from, well, I'm not going to say, yeah, it was probably since like 3:30 it's been raining.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's heavy wind, heavy rains, nor'easter coming in, so hopefully you guys, I'm assuming you guys are driving back tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm heading back, I think, later on in the morning. I'm not going to rush getting ready. I'm going to take my time.
So hopefully you guys don't get stuck in it. But yeah, that's it, man.
No shit.
Other than that, fucking things are great, dude. I got some big news. Some big news. I have like triple big news today, actually.
Real? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So I can get right into it if you want.
Why don't you jump into it, and then
all right,
we'll cover your stuff, and then we'll before. Do we have any headlines this week? While I'm thinking about it,
I got one.
Yeah. All right. So we got a headline this week. We'll talk about the 300th episode after we do our catch up and get everybody on deck.
Perfect. So big week. No fishing. Mm-hmm. But everyone, I'm going to give you the news on Joe's digit that's been busted for about 2 months so far.
It has been 2 months. That sucks.
As you guys know, I explained I had the surgery, got it fixed. I got the big wrapping off. So now I just got this. This is like the Phantom of the Opera mask for my hand.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So I just got this little thing, but dude, I've been doing the PT and stuff, and like I got movement back, man. I got movement in that bad boy, and it's like it's tight. It's the weirdest feeling because like I told you, like they screwed in the synthetic ligament and screwed into the bone there, but like I could feel it like that it's tight, but I can feel that it's like loosening up. It's just a weird feeling, man.
That's crazy.
Is your PT like flipping? You're just constantly flipping into a cup just to keep pressing that thing.
I wish, dude. I like it's so funny. Like I went by a couple bodies. I went over the Swift River a couple times today, and I saw a couple people fishing. I'm like, motherfucker. But dude, I think I could do it now. I mean, look at this. I could definitely do this. Yeah. Like I got it now.
Oh yeah, I bet you could. That's awesome.
So I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped. I'm just ready to get the stitches out. The stitches are still in there. This thing kind of irritates them a little bit. Like it bled a little bit earlier today, I think from like the rubbing and the friction. But no, dude, other than that, I'm pumped. Ready to get that. I'm gonna go back to work, I think fucking Wednesday. I'm gonna go back to work.
No shit. All right,
Nice.
that's awesome, man.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do the right thing, I guess. Go back. It's tough to stay out for a prolonged period of time when it's your non-dominant hand. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? My big thing was I just wanted to wait until because I haven't seen the surgeon again yet. I just saw the occupational therapist. So as soon as I see the surgeon, I got the stitches out, then I'll go back and I'll be good for that. But
that's awesome,
dude. My week. Let's talk my week.
Yeah.
Busy week. So last night was a cool night. Dude, so I had a reunion. It was a reunion with like a bunch of folks that I've like deployed with and stuff over the years.
Oh, that's cool.
That are like no longer in the military and stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, we had such a good time. Was a little slow getting up this morning, but yeah, dude, so many people came out. It was seeing people I deployed, like my first deployment back in 2006. I hadn't seen and almost basically since then. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So, yeah, dude, it's so crazy that like camaraderie of the military was like we saw each other. It was like we picked up where we left off.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
It was the wildest thing.
Yeah.
Like Meg was with me, and she's like, "That's so crazy." She's like, "You guys acted like you like just saw each other yesterday."
It hasn't been a decade plus, you know.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Crazy. That's
so
nuts.
Yep. So that was awesome. That was a good time. Man, did I tell you I ordered a new truck?
Yeah, I saw this on Facebook.
So
I think you got a good one.
Okay, so today we made it official and we ordered the camper.
Really?
The RV.
Oh my God.
Yep, that's official. We went and did that today, put the deposit on it and everything. So no turning back now, but I had to also order the truck that can pull that camper. So I did that. I ordered the truck. That'll be here in a couple months. I actually got the email on it today that it's like about to hit production.
No shit. That's great, dude.
Yep. Ordered the camper. So, and I told you the wild story about the camper, right?
Yeah, you did.
With
you
the
do.
price.
Can't really mention
I'll talk. I'll talk to you offline about what, it's eventually everybody. I'll tell the story, but when I eventually tell it, you'll understand why I'm kind of keeping it hush hush. But
is it that same model that you were looking
the
at?
Same exact one.
Really? That's awesome. Good for you, man.
So that they did me so well because of that thing that I was able to actually add an option that I originally didn't get, like a big option. So
that's fucking awesome.
So I ended up getting, it's a Keystone, Montana 3915 TB it's called. So it's a 44-foot camper. 44 feet.
I don't even think my house is 44 feet long.
I think it's bigger than my house inside. It's got 2 full bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. It's nicer inside than my house. It's got on top of the second bedroom, it has a loft with like that 3 more people can sleep. Dude, it's got like nicer TVs than my house, washer and dryer. So the big thing with like traveling with Meg was there's a couple of, we have the highest solar package you can get, and it has like the battery banks in it, so it collects that solar and stores it into like a couple giant lithium batteries. We got that in the Starlink internet, Starlink on the roof. Mm-hmm. So we got that. And plus I still need to be able to record the podcast, Bobby, with you.
Oh, hell,
on the road.
Man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but my big thing was I wanted to be different. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I got that bitch in black, dude.
That's fucking cool.
I got in like a black with like this almost like it's black with this like earth tone graphic on it.
Yeah.
With mountains, like mountain graphic. It's pretty awesome. And so excited for that. Ordered the truck. I'm spending way too much fucking money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Jigs and Bigs world. Joe's truck is going to be up for sale here in the next month or two. If anyone's interested. If you guys don't know, I have a Ram 2500 Cummins with the Black Widow package with 40,000 miles. Give you a good deal. Reach out to me on Instagram. But yeah, that's it, man. I ordered the truck. I ended up getting I'm actually sad about it because I love my truck, dude. I'm actually sad that I got to sell it.
I remember the day we talked on your boat about you're the Ford you were looking at, and you're like, yeah, it's not ready yet, and blah blah blah. I'm not even really into it, and I was like, you should go and fucking find what you want. And you're like, it was I think 48 hours.
You're right,
like,
Bobby.
That was, that was like I remember
a couple
seeing
bridges with that, but
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so dude, I'm actually super sad, but I just can't, like, with that lift and the suspension and stuff. It's just not rated to pull that trailer.
Yep.
The trailer dry is like almost 18,000 pounds.
That's insane.
So yeah,
because you're not packing for like a long weekend away. You're packing your entire lives. So yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy.
She's a heavy bitch, but dude, outside of that, like, those are kind of some big things that happened this week, and and that's pretty much it, dude. Like, it's been a good week, like doing stuff around the house. Like, I started to be able to do a couple things around the house, kind of catch up. I just like started to feel like myself again when I got my when I got my digits back, and
that's great though. That's perfect.
I kind of live vicariously through you and Binya the last couple days, because you guys are you guys are in my favorite place ever to fish. So
can I trade places with you then? Because I'd rather live with your week.
It's been something. It's been something. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell my wife about. I'm going to tell him that you and Meg got the new camper ordered, and she's going to say, "Oh, let's look it up and see what it is." I'll tell her what the model is, and we're going to go find it on Josh the RV Nerd's channel from Bish's RV, and he does.
Do I watch him?
You might. He's
Dude,
like,
I've watched so many fucking RV videos.
You've probably also seen. Was it Mike and RVblogger.com or something like that?
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, they're good. He fucking hates shower curtains. If you don't, he's like, it's gonna be blowing back on you. I can do the elbow test, and I'm gonna be just fine in this. But Bish's are those videos. Josh the RV Nerd hits different. And she's going to be geeking out because that's the shit she wants to do, dude. You guys live in the fucking dream. I'm telling you. It is amazing.
You know what? You know what, Bobby? Here's what we do. We have a second bedroom. So when we go into like a cool spot, you and Holly just fucking fly in, dude, and take that second bedroom and just fucking
dude, that's not a terrible idea. That's not a terrible idea.
You know what I mean?
Goodness. That's freaking badass, though, dude. You're going to absolutely have a blast. So let's talk about the St. Lawrence River.
Let's talk. I am so excited, but not at the same time.
I know, because I've gotten a little preview.
I got a little bit of a preview, so let's hear about it, guys.
So the blow by blow is this. I was kind of hoping to produce like 2 videos out of this. The one was like the overall like trip, like a vlog, and then the other one was we were just going to take we figured like it was just going to be fire. We never even considered, and this is probably amateur on our end, but we just assumed we were going to be fucking killing it out here. You know what I mean? Like, it's the promised land.
Yeah.
I think it was probably like 48 hours before go time. We started watching videos about fall fishing in the St. Lawrence, and we're like some people are really fucking struggling here, or they're breaking down like some things, and they're like, well, it's fickle because you have this short window where things are going to change, and then they're going to move back out deep, and you just got to find them. And of course, being a river system, it's going to be insane. So we kind of came up. We wanted to have I wanted to make sure to carve out like a couple hours to just do a little challenge video where we fish against each other and have some kind of crazy stakes or something. And man, I'm fucking I really stepped it up. This isn't hot sauce like Da Bomb or anything like that. This is fucking vile.
I could have made it better almost.
This is fucking vile. For those of you listening, if you don't know what this is about, this is all about the Alabama hot bag. And we'll explain further what that is. I posted a reel explaining what it is on Instagram. But so that was the goal. Well, so we meet up here. And I mean, I think I left my house about like 4 a.m. And I think I got here a little before 9. And we got stuff ready. We launched over at the state park. What's it called? Keewaydin.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because you can't park your trailers in there. You got to go and drop them off and then drive back over.
That's so weird.
I knew that, and I didn't tell you that, but because for some reason I thought that ended October 1st.
And October 15th. Like it's like Wednesday.
My bad, Bobby.
My
My bad.
like 2 days
It's
early.
totally okay. It's funny because one of the reasons why I was looking at videos online about like the St. Lawrence was I wanted to get more of an idea of what did I have to do to be prepared if we crossed over the Canadian border, like to be legal.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know also like about different launches, like what was recommended and where. So we went out Friday, and Thursday night there was a big drop in temp. Like I think it was like the low was like 29 up here. Like it got real cold. So we had, very light clouds. The wind wasn't terrible, but again, like looking at the map, like when you get out there, you don't realize that how skinny this water is in this area that we're fishing. So the current is like the worst right out where we are. So we get out to this one marker. Chris Mellowship from Abe Lure Lab had suggested we start at this one marker. So we start over there, and we're just like I wasn't even considering like setting a spot and then just drifting, and we struggled with the current, like figuring it out. We fished around a couple of islands. We looked deep for them. Binya did hook into a smallie off of one of those islands in some grass, right?
It was weird too because it was on a square bill in like 30 feet of water, which makes no sense. But it was, and I was throwing it kind of like 45ing, so I was actually kind of pulling it against current. So I think, but it was, we're not, so it was a smallmouth. We'll say it was a smallmouth.
Yeah.
Was it a St. Lawrence famous smallmouth?
That's
no, it was
thing.
nothing different than any of the smallmouth I catch back home.
This was like
14 inches.
a
maybe.
good, fucking lashway smallmouth.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, that was, and I was like, okay, we know we've found some, let's see what we can pick together. And as we're kind of picking apart around some of these islands, there's other boats that come by, and we did the same, like, hey, how you guys doing? Are you catching them? And like, I think the first boat was like, not really. And then the next boat that came by was like, yeah, we're killing them. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? And they were in like a small, like I want to say it was like a Grizzly, like a John boat with a center console.
Yep.
And I was like, how are they keeping like such crazy control? Like they're not all over the place. Like what are they doing?
And they didn't look like they had even like a real, it was like a super tall trolling motor. It didn't look like your typical spot lock type of trolling motor.
And that's, I think what they were doing was they were just setting themselves up and they were familiar with it and drifting in like the right sort of channel. Yeah. One thing I was not prepared for, it wasn't even the tankers. It was the fucking tourist boats, Joe.
I told you. They're the worst. Those wakes are the worst, dude. They're worse than the big tankers.
They really, really are. Like, and they're almost like, they're like, oh, can you see? Here, you're going to captain this vessel. I feel like that's how they do their hiring because holy Jesus, these folks
cut you right off, dude. They don't
all
care.
Over the place. I'm going, are you fucking serious? So we fished. I think I sent you a drawing of about the areas that we hit. So we found some more shallow water, and we were just looking for a transition, like a little bit of a ledge before things got crazy. Because I was like, the water temp was like 62. And from what we're hearing, like what we heard from Chris, it is warm. So we're like, fuck, what's going on here? Now, we struggled. I caught nothing that day. That was the last fish. That smallie was the last one that Binya had caught, and we ended up kind of toying around and coming up with some ideas. Why did we decide to get off the water? Was it just we were fucking frustrated, or were we running out of battery again? Might have been the battery.
I think it may. No, I don't. Yeah, it may have been the battery.
It was because of like all of that current, and I instead of drifting, I was fighting it with spot lock.
Yeah,
and in order to move anywhere, like get around, we were on high a lot, so I drained the hell out of that battery.
Yeah, as soon as you turned spot lock off, we were going like 3 miles an hour. Like it was quick.
It was crazy. So it was like I just had to get my bearings of like how to like make it work. I felt like I was on the remote more than like anything, like holding a spot and then like trying to figure it out. Yeah. So we were fishing this one flat, and I noticed that my bow mounted electronics just shut off. And I was like, I'm getting low on battery. So I checked the level and I was like, why don't we call it? Because I think at this point it was like just about 4:00.
Yeah, I was
something like that.
3-4 o'clock.
We were out for about 6-7 hours at minimum, and we motor back in and we get set up and everything, and we come back and we go over to Tits Thousand Island Tackle Store, which, by the way, just Tits. Big fan. Big fan. Well, if there is one sticker on the back of my truck that I get comments on more than anything, it's that one. It's great. And then people are like, "What?" And I look at them like deadpan, and they're like, "Oh yeah," they're like, "That's a little chauvinist, don't you think?" And I'm like, Thousand Island Tackle Store. Thousand Island Tackle Store. And I was like, "What's up?" And they're like, "Shit, yeah, I guess that's the way it is."
Slowly, the first thing I bought was a hat with tits on it.
Gotta get that. I did buy a can koozie while I was there because I needed to. And my daughter's girlfriend had asked me. She said, she goes, "If you ever go and visit, she's like, could you get me like some apparel? I think that's amazing." And I was like, 100%. So in the back of my truck right now, there's a hat for her.
Awesome.
Yeah, badass. So we went, we talked we met. Chris was actually happened to be there. So we were talking with him and we came up with a plan for Saturday because we went out with Chris. Now, you've seen my boat. My boat's really small. Fishing 3 people in there is a challenge. It takes a little bit of work to kind of do, like, especially when 3 people are in there, like, geared up, fishing hard.
Yeah.
If you're just out there hanging out with a few people, having fun with a few rods, it's definitely doable. But, like, when you've got gear and cameras everywhere, it was ridiculous. The implication was a meme this weekend.
Yeah.
No bullshit. It was a fucking meme.
Literally, between the 3 of us, I think we had 15 rods.
Minimum. Yeah, maybe it was ridiculous. Like rods everywhere, like multiple action cameras, like ridiculous. And we had a good time. We went out to Friday night. What did we do for dinner? We ordered pizza that night, didn't we?
Pizza.
We
that
did.
night.
Yeah, we ordered pizza.
We actually had Buffalo Nonsense.
We ordered Buffalo Nonsense. We got set up.
All right.
Yeah. The Buffalo. So what we did is we ordered 2 smalls. And we're like, okay, so we'll get like the Buffalo Nonsense, but we'll get like something else that we know is going to be good. Like, how can you fuck it up? And we went with pepperoni, right? How do you fuck that up, right?
Right.
It was the Buffalo Nonsense that took the dub. And I'm glad that the Ginger Chode Pat Martin is in here because I'm saying this. It's so weird that it goes all full circle, and that of all jig heads, Pat's in here. This is great.
Yep.
So yeah, it was just it was a good experience. It was all good. We came up with a plan, figured out what we were going to do. Chris had a handful of spots in mind, and he even said, he was like, "Don't worry about that morning bite. Let the sun hit the water for a little bit, and like they'll start getting more active." He's like, "I have found the afternoon and evening to be much better." I was like, all right, okay, that works. We'll figure it out. So we are feeling super positive. Like, it was crazy. Oh, and that's the thing. It's Friday night when we got here. Part of the reason why we didn't do a whole lot on Friday night was I parked the boat in so many different parking spots to figure out the best spot.
I'm pretty sure he put in every spot.
I feel like the motel was close to full, like Friday night.
Really?
Yeah. It was crazy.
Oh, see, the last time, like, I thought they were closed for the season. That's why I was like, oh, dude, just fucking park everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah. I was like, oh, no shit. And then, well, there's another thing we found out Saturday, too, is that we could have had access to a spot to drop in and dock the boat with no additional charges.
Apparently,
and
the
we could have
dock
just
masters
walked.
leave when the season's closed. And you can just go use the docks.
And we totally could have used them, no problems. But now we know, and that's the thing. Now we know. Off season, we know, And so we got everything all worked out. We were playing games with like, okay, how we got to charge these batteries. So we charge everything up. Everything's cool. And we head out on Saturday, and we're out, and I think we had fished. Shit, we fished until about like 2:30, maybe even 3, before Chris got into that pickerel. That was the first fish in the boat, right?
It was late. It was afternoon.
I texted you, Joe, about this.
Yes.
And it was probably about 2:30, right?
Yeah.
So we got on the water at 9. And he was bringing us to the spots where he was just like, listen, we're looking for this over here. And he's like, they will be stacked up over in this spot. And if there were at least 2 spots where he said straight up, he goes, if we don't get bit here, we're in trouble. Dudes, we were in trouble.
Yeah, 2 in a row spots like that.
So we make our way around, and like Chris was frustrated, and you know, he wanted to give us a good show, you know. Benny and I were frustrated because it was just a grind. So we decided, we're like, listen, like, we're not even really marking anything like out in this deeper water. And when I say deep, like, I'm not talking those 200-foot holes, but I'm talking like that, like 30 to 60 window, 70 foot, something like that. I figured they'd be. We weren't finding them anywhere. So we're like, let's just go ridiculously shallow. So we went further away from the lake, and we went up into a couple of marinas over there to kind of fool around. Now, this is where it got crazy. So Chris's first fish came on a plopper that he painted. In like 3.5, 4 foot of water, weeds all over the place. And it was a chain pickerel of all fish. You know,
that's so funny. I actually caught one on top water once, and I was like, what the F?
Yeah. I mean, I've caught one on ploppers before. I mean, again, like, you fish them over that like submergent veg, and they're, you know, they're asking for it, you know, and he just did. This fish was great. So we're like, okay, sweet, skunk's out of the boat. This is a good feeling. All right. There's actually a fish in the boat. Great. So we had gone back over by Key Wade, and there's a small cove with a nice drop off there. And the same thing, there was a bunch of weeds up in the shallow area. So we go up over there and we're fishing, and Chris hooks into a pretty decent pike. Like, I would say a 25, 28.
It's probably 28.
Yeah,
it was
probably we'll say probably 28. Probably
I bet you I know which spot that was too.
I'm visualizing like a catch board.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is this spot? Is it like in between the shore and a small island?
It's not a small island. Yes. Yep.
And then there's a slide that goes into the water.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So we go over there. Spot. He hooks into this absolute giant. We're throwing just a bunch of like confidence baits, things that like are absolute. And we're throwing like, but what's weird is that at the same time, we're fishing for the conditions. Like, we're fishing for where we are. So he was throwing a swim jig in all this shallow grass, you know, and this pike just annihilated his swim jig, just crushed it. So he gets that in the boat. It's fucking crazy, right? Releases that sucker, and we're like, okay, let's keep going. And there's one other island, and it's got a house on it, and it's got a bunch of flags that go around the entire island. You've seen it, yep.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
So we go and we fish the entire backside of that, and there's a little bit of action, like, you know, like maybe like some yellow perch, like biting the flatworms that we're using, or I was throwing some interesting stuff from Missile, like the what is it, the drop bomb or something. Nice.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a nice little like worm style bait but with a flat paddle tail. At the back, and I'm like, all right, you know, we're getting little taps and stuff, and I'm like, what are these fish? You know, and again, we're fishing like 30 or 40 feet, and Binia hooks into a fucking walleye with scoliosis. By the way,
wait till you see this fish, dude. It looks like somebody tried to bend it in half.
Yeah, it was rough.
Were you noticing when you were drop shotting? Were you noticing the like real fast like twitches where you're like, okay, those are gobies? Like, did you get the goby nips where you're like it feels like it's almost vibrating?
That very well could have been what was in, because I was like, I don't know, is that perch? Is it whatever?
Yeah, no, they're probably gobies.
That makes sense. That makes sense. The half-ounce drop shot weights were fucking critical in the river. I definitely could have gotten away with three quarters. 100% could have gotten away with three quarters.
At least 5/8.
It's crazy. It is really crazy. But like, even fishing a drop shot was different. Like, I caught him on a drop shot today, but it's totally different. Like, this is like traditional, like vertical, like just jigging, bouncing that bait up and down a little bit, just making it quiver, bang, and they would bite. This is different. You're just throwing that and letting that weight get dragged along the bottom. And it is so nice to use tungsten in that situation because you can feel the rock and shell bottom and stuff. And you're like, okay, you feel like you're doing something right, I guess, in my situation. So I was starting to fucking lose it at this point. Like, not like fucking meltdown, temper tantrum, but I was like, I'm fucking done. Like,
never felt so guilty catching a fish in my life.
I know. I felt like, so bad for these guys because I'm like, here I am. I'm like, whatever. You know, what was funny is we left the ramp in the morning and it was late morning when we left, but we leave the ramp, we go around all those slips and we were spotting small bass everywhere.
They were cruising everywhere.
Yeah, all over that weedy area. And I couldn't figure out. It was like, well, we decided we were going to fish our way kind of mostly back in and see if we can pick something up there. We went back and it was barren.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely
Did you fish the marina? Did you fish the Keewaydin marina?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of wild, huh? How clear it is and
it's
shit. And like
unbelievable.
how you can just,
it is unbelievable. We did see a bunch of huge drum.
Huge.
Yeah, like I'm talking, these were probably 20-pound fish. I was like,
in the marina, or
there was one just outside of the marina. There was one, but there was off of one of the markers, and I'll give you the number off the show. But off of one of the markers on one of those small islands that's right there, it comes up to like 8 feet. And it's super clear.
I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah, it's super clear, but we saw probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, and the thing is that's what kind of set me up for failure because that gave me confidence. Because the first thing I saw was one of these monster drum
big
laying
fish.
in like
That's
3
right.
feet of water on
Friday.
rock.
Yeah,
he was just laying there on a shell. And the thing is, I was throwing. At that time, I think I was throwing a tube. Like I'd gotten like a heavier tube, and I was like, screw it, I'll throw it up on there. And like he kind of came in. And then like sat on this rock, and I'm like, Bobby, look at this thing. What is that? Because I couldn't even tell because it was a little bit choppy. And I was like, holy crap, what the hell is that thing? And then like, so I'm like, oh man, that's a gigantic fish. I can't wait to start catching fish. And yeah, it just didn't happen.
It's so did you make it up to that one spot that I sent you, Bobby? Were you able to make it to that spot?
We almost went out that far.
Okay. I know it was a little bit of a haul for you.
Yeah, it was. We almost did. And the idea, what the one thing that that Chris had mentioned a number of times, he was like, well, there's this one spot we can go to where there's some shoals that we might find them set up on. And we're like, he's like, but he's like, it's pretty, it can be kind of dicey out there. He's like, I don't know if it's worth it. Well, we'll get there in just a moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I gotta say, we got off the water. We had on Saturday morning. That morning, we had acquired all of the ingredients for our Alabama hot bag, and we kind of mixed it up with this one. Alabama hot bag ingredients. You've got cornstarch, Vienna sausages, hard-boiled eggs, hot sauce, and it traditionally would have sunflower seeds, right? Jury is out on if it's a good idea.
You got to get the crunch.
Yeah, it's all about the texture. It's all about the texture. So we went one level up, and I was like, I go, here's the thing, Binya. I'm like, I get it. It's the texture. That's what it is. But I was like, I've heard conflicting reports on if you should eat the seed, the outer shell of a sunflower seed or not. I was like, I'm going to give you a choice, and you pick what you want. And I was like, do we do corn or do we do peanuts? We did both. So we got all these ingredients, and obviously our mission that day was we're going to start the challenge after we figured out a pattern. Without a pattern, we never even got the challenge done. So I'm like, shit. I got like nothing for this video. I still don't have much. You know what I mean?
Literal goal was we'll get a couple fish each, and then we'll start. And then
we'll start from there.
We'll split off and make a separate video of just this challenge.
Yeah,
and you got to get 2 fish before you can get to the challenge.
And with that day, it was just a mess. So we got off the water. We're like, let's regroup, come up with some kind of a plan. We'll, go look at some maps over at the bar and we'll figure it out. So we hit up the dockside. If there's an MVP in this whole story, it's the dockside pub, the dockside bar. And
that place is great, dude. That place is great.
We had a real good time. The food is unbelievable. Like
it's funny because you walk in and like I remember the first time I walked in there, I was like, and then, dude, you sit down. They got nice cold beers, and the food is phenomenal.
It is, and it's like it is really, really terrific. And we ordered right off the menu. We didn't order any of the specials. I saw the specials on the way in. Like some of that stuff is like pretty fantastic. I'll bet you that's the move. Go with the specials. But I think we each ordered a burger. I got the Haymaker burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking.
I think that's the one Taylor always gets, actually.
It's pretty fucking badass. Like, it's badass. Yeah. It's like a barbecue in your face, you know? And what did I have for a beer? What was I drinking that night? Oh, it was like a blueberry wheat beer.
Okay.
I was I don't know. You know, but again, like I've been drinking Labatt's.
Did one of you guys get the wings?
No, I'm probably going to get some wings before I leave.
Yeah, you got to get the wings, dude.
Yeah.
Got to get the wings.
Should I go with the dockside wings, the ones that are breaded, or the buffalo ones that are not? Do you remember which?
I believe if I remember right, and I think I had Jeremiah with me when he's over here, he's looking at me. Actually I'm gonna ask him, Jeremiah, remember that restaurant we went to when we went up to St. Lawrence River? And you got the buffalo wings. Were they breaded or were they not breaded? Or do you remember? No. Yeah, so it was the non-breaded ones.
They were phenomenal. The buffalo. All right.
Yeah, they were phenomenal.
Right. Yeah. I'll check them out. I was like, oh.
He wanted to get them because Jeremiah is like a buffalo wing connoisseur.
Yeah.
So he gave him he's like, these are like the best ever. So if he's saying that, there's pretty good.
That's a good endorsement. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll check them out. So yeah, we had a couple of drinks and we freaking finally ate some real food. And we hit we got back here, hung out for a bit, drank a few beers. But while we were at the bar, we were doing some planning. And we decided that we were like, let's do this. The initial plan was, let's go out early, launch at 7, okay? Fish till 11 or 12, you know?
Yeah.
Get off the water for lunch, you know? And if it's, depending on how it's going, we'll regroup and figure something out. You know what I mean? But we'll get the boat out of the water, we'll go, we'll do our thing, it'll be great. Obviously, with the caveat being that, like, if we're out there and it's fire, let's just send it. Because, again, we were also trying to plan, like, how are we going to record this podcast? Because that all had to happen, too. We wanted to be set and back here by 7 o'clock so that we could do this and get it all handled.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, this will be okay. We go and we're pretty positive about it. We think this is going to be really good. And we head out, and we got a coordinate from Chris about where we should launch to go hit these shoals. So we get over there, and we launch. Parking was crazy. Like, I was able to keep the trailer connected. Was it Grassy Point? No, it wasn't Grassy Point. It was Clayton.
Okay.
It was Clayton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Clayton. So we went from there. Parking was just insane. So we launch. Everything is cool. We start on our way out, and I realize, I'm like, did I lock my fucking truck? So we go back. But it was a good thing that we went back because I grabbed my AFCO Reaper jacket, which isn't like a waterproof jacket, but it's way more water resistant than like my Reaper hoodie. So I got that. Plus it was fucking cold, dude. We had like 5-mile-an-hour winds. And as soon as we got off of the little bay where the launch is, like it was rough. Like we were like getting out there. I couldn't even really like get on plane without getting like just smashed in the face with water. It was ridiculous. So I'm glad.
So it wouldn't have been a good lake. It wouldn't have been a good. It wouldn't have been a good lake day.
It would have been even worse out there.
No, there was like 2.5 foot chop on the river, so the lake would have been.
Yeah, the lake would have been even worse. It would have been just crazy. So we go out there and we're like, again, like we're just getting like water just like crazy.
Yeah,
and. We get out to this one spot, and I realize that I thought these were like humps. You know what I mean? No. I'm like, there's like exposed rock. I'm like, dude, we're gonna get blown right into these fucking things. I'm like, my motor, and I was like, plus. So what we had done is, while we were out on Saturday, at one point, my main battery started to die. But I was smart and I brought a ratchet so I could change it out because I have that spare. I changed that out. We fished for another 2 or 3 hours with that one.
Yeah,
right?
A couple hours, I think.
Yeah, we did. We fished another couple hours with that one, so that was a good idea. And then we're like, okay, but we got to charge up, like, because we're going hard. Like, we really do. Like, it's kind of crazy. I have been today, like, especially today, I've been kind of conserving a little bit more juice. The big thing is the wind and current. Like, if that trolling motor is on high, it's going to eat that battery right up. I gotta do something about that. So
dude, yeah, okay.
Well,
I got one. I got a fucking battery sitting here for you. We just actually have to link up.
Well, I told my what was it? No. So initially, we're like, we got to charge both these things, both of them, just so that they're ready. And I was like, fuck it, let's just go get a trickle charger, because I can charge two with my. I think I can charge two batteries with my charger, but like it's not set up for it yet. Or like the leads don't reach outside of where, like it's something stupid like that. So I'm like, there's work that has to be done there. But I'm like, having something that's separate where I can take that battery where I need to and plug it in is a good idea. Chris was like, I got one. He goes, I'll bring it over to you. I'll drop it off in the boat. So we got both batteries charging. Everything's good. We're feeling good about our plan for Sunday morning, right? Get up 5 a.m., go to, get everything together, get a cup of coffee, put down at least a quart of water, go downstairs, meet up with Binya. We hit the road. We get out there. We launch the boat. We start getting out there. And again, we're just getting hammered by fucking waves. Like, it is just crazy. Boats bouncing all over the place. And we're like, we're not even marking anything. We're not seeing anything, like trying to make our way around. But again, I'm being smart. Like, I don't want to send it and run the boat into these rocks. Like, that could be really, 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 really treacherous. So I'm like, all right, let's figure it out. And I told him, I said to Binya, I was like, what do you think about just finding another lake? Let's head back and figure something out. And we'll figure out, maybe we just go and fish an entirely different body of water. Something that's a little bit more sheltered. Something that we can just just go and catch fucking fish. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. This is a legendary body of water with potential to absolutely give you PB upon PB multiple times, but it can be fickle, and we're learning that, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, to have that idea that like, oh yeah, this is just this like mecca of giant fish, you have to go and find them. So we went to another body of water. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but ultimately it was the goal. We saw Chris a couple hours ago, and we were having dinner again. We went back to the dockside. I had one of their, what I will recommend, this is what I had tonight, was one of their Italian bread pizzas.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them. Oh. I've never had one, but I've seen them, and I've always been like, ooh, that looks good.
It's pretty good. I went with the meat lovers, add roasted red and jalapeno peppers. Oh. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It's a good thing we got two rooms, man, because you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
It'd be, yeah. There's a lot of bacon and a lot of pepperoni. And
I had a cordon bleu sandwich, so yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a...
Yeah. So we were talking with Chris, and he told us that there was a tournament today, and that way it was 65 boats?
So it was, I actually memorized this because it made me feel better.
It definitely made me feel better.
We're going to console myself. So a 60 boat tournament, 42 of them did not weigh in.
Get the fuck out.
The bag that won it was 19 pounds.
Yeah, 19 pounds.
And it was probably from the lake. They probably just sucked it up and went out to the lake.
It's possible.
Yeah, you probably just fucking have to,
And I'm going with that. That was probably the most stressful news for those tournament anglers, but the happiest news I had heard all weekend, because I was like, okay, if guys that are at that level, I don't know what level or like what tournament trail was doing it, but still, like guys that fish tournaments take it seriously, especially ones that do it on St. Lawrence. So if 42 of them did not weigh in, then it made me feel a little bit better that we didn't do well.
It was, yeah.
I'm telling you guys right now, like, I've heard, like, I thought about it, like, because, Chris and I have had in-depth conversations about how it kind of just, like, their like, fall turnover, essentially.
Yeah.
It just, like, shuts off. It's just donezo. Like, the fishing is done. in my mind, like I was like, oh, I don't think they'll be quite there yet. It's really unfortunate. It really sucks to hear this, but I'm telling you guys right now,
Yeah.
next year, you got to come to opening day with us.
Yes, 100%.
You got to do it with the Fish or Die crew, dude.
Yeah.
This year was one of those years where, I mean, Bobby, you know, I was sending you a picture. I caught PB after PB after PB, like in a single spot, in that spot that I sent you.
Yeah,
that spot I fished all day, and it was PB after PB after PB. It was insane, you guys. That's when you guys got to go there. And you guys are gonna be like, oh my god,
it's totally different. And I think that's the thing. Like, let's be honest. Like, this body of water is super well known for a very good reason, because it delivers like that on occasion. You know, there are some days it just sucks. You know, it is what it is. But I would come here all day and like musky fish. You know what I mean? I would gladly come back.
And not only that, and like I've talked to Chris about it. You know what nobody targets up there?
What's that?
Largemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Totally. And they're in there, dude. Yeah. I mean, Chris has showed me some of the ones he's caught. I'm like, oh shit.
We went to like at least 3 bays because we kind of gave up on the smallmouth at one point. We're like, they're just not going to bite. So let's just see if we can get something.
Yeah.
And as somebody who predominantly fishes for largemouth, there was some spots that I was like, oh man, in the summertime or like the early spring, there's some of those bays where I'm
when
like,
that water's higher up a little bit. You know, and that shit's just kind of starting to grow.
There was some grass and just areas that I'm like, when that grass was healthy and not all dying because it's cold, I would be all over that the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Yep, yeah. It's like that tournament I fished with Zach last year. I mean, one of the fish we put in, it was like a 2.5 pound largemouth that he just so happened, like we were running a ledge line, you know, a ledge, and it just so happened that there was like a one cove that went up, and he's like, he just kind of bombed a cast up there, fucking grabbed a largie in the shallows, you know, on a drop shot. But
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're in there.
It's crazy, dude. So we ended up making like the right move, because we were looking at some other lakes, and we picked one, and then we had sent Chris a text and saying like, hey, if we're looking to just change it up, just because like we just need to catch fish, you know, and we're looking to just kind of fish stuff that we're a little bit more comfortable with. What do you suggest with? And actually where we ended up was the same, or the place that we were considering going to was the same place that Chris had recommended to us. So we head over there and we're like, listen, let's just do the challenge. That's what this little send will be. We'll just fish. And we figured we were like gonna run it till like 2 or 2:30, and it was kind of slow. You know, we there were some sexy fucking bluff walls all over the place. Like, we had spots where you'd have this bluff wall and there'd just be like 40 feet of depth, just boom. But we were marking fish on some of this stuff. You know,
we were getting like perch follows and, you know, bait fish follows, and we weren't getting any.
Just saw some life.
It was just like, it was get to the point where like just feeling the nibble of a perch on the tail of your bait
got you excited,
made you feel better about the day, because we just weren't getting that before.
So we got to you know, we came up with the term. So this is how we ran the contest, right? The Alabama hot bag challenge. So what we did was this: loser had to consume a hot bag, right? And we brought all the stuff with us. It was we had the hard-boiled eggs in the cooler and like everything. Everything was all set and ready to go. We hit the water and we start going. And I'm like, I just need to catch fish. I just need to catch something, like put something on. So what we did was we're like, we'll call it 1 point per fish, right? Any species counts. 1 point per fish. First fish will be awarded an extra point.
We originally were going to do lunker.
Yeah.
But then we decided like lunker of every species.
Yeah, we were like, let's do the biggest of every species earns an additional point. So there was an opportunity to get some points and a little bit of strategy here, and it was actually kind of fucking fun. I had fun doing it. It was a good time. And so I was like, I'm going to do what I do, man, when I need to get bit, and I'm going to downsize. And I started throwing around a small 3-inch swim bait, real small jig head. And I hooked into a 6-inch rock bass, and that rock bass is worth 3 points. Rock bass made me so fucking happy. So I caught that, and then the basic breakdown went like the order was kind of back and forth for the most part. But the way it looked was like this. Ultimately, in between both of us, there were 9 largemouth caught, 1 smallmouth, 1 bluegill, 1 rock bass, and 1 pike. The pike was only a 20, but it was very, very fun to catch. Yeah. Now, I caught the first fish, and I got 2 that were the biggest. All of the species that Binya caught were all the biggest of those species. So it was 12-7. I took the dub. Now, I got to tell you guys how this played out.
Yeah.
So it's all recorded. It's all going to be in the video. You guys see the whole fucking breakdown. But I felt like a real bastard making Binya do this challenge when, in fact, for the entire trip, I was the fucking lackluster angler. I was like, I am not letting you go out on this. So I'm making 2 Alabama hot bags, and I'm doing 1 in solidarity. Mm-hmm. Plus, I was a little interested because for those of you that don't know what an Alabama hot bag is, we've gone over the ingredients, but on this reel, there's a guy who goes through it, and his reaction when he opens the bag to consume some of the contents, he says right out loud, "That smells like a diarrhea fart." And he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't inaccurate.
He wasn't wrong. So we put this stuff together, and we just had to consume not all of it. That's fucking disgusting, but 1 bite, and like Binya was spitting it out right away.
I couldn't even. I got it in my mouth and then immediately stuck my head over the side of the boat.
Your boy got it down. Your boy got it down. He felt like fucking Good Mythical Morning, like Rhett and Link. I got that shit down. And then we decided we're just going to empty out the bag so we don't have to have all the shit. And as we're squeezing the shit out of the bags, my bag, and I even said like before, and I was like, I think mine has a hole in it. Like I think it was getting on my hand when I was mashing it up. I'm squeezing the bag, and the back end of the fucking bag fires back at me as I'm sitting in my seat. I have fucking hot bag all over my... Look, there's some on my fucking Crocs.
It dyed his Crocs.
It did, yeah. It's like...
It looks like it painted his Crocs.
It looks like it's like it's spackled. It is fucking terrible. It was like... For Jigs and Bigs listeners, for those that you don't that aren't parents, you won't understand. But like those diaper changes where it goes up their back.
Yep.
Like.
Yep. Dude. Yep. It tasted like that would probably taste too.
No, don't say that.
Awful.
Oh, dude, I'm literally starting to get water mouth right now. Like I'm gonna get. Oh my god.
So we go and we're like, listen, man, why don't we just call this? I think it was like going on like 3:30 or something like that. Yeah. We're like, let's just call it, whatever. I'm like, it was a decent day. We put fish in the boat, whatever. Mm-hmm. We came back, we got a bite to eat, and then here we are. We're set up and we're recording. And then we're heading out tomorrow morning, but freaking crazy.
So no fishing tomorrow morning.
No fishing tomorrow morning. Eli's gagging over there. John has the worst. Baby blowouts are the worst.
Yeah.
My original plan was to fish Monday, but the way that if we had been on them, like that was the whole thing. And the pivot to the lake was purely like we were like we could try to force feed the lake, the river one more time, but we had already basically blanked for 2 days. And we're trying to make content, so we needed at least something to put on the video. Yeah. So we're like, let's just go to a lake. And I will say that lake was cool.
Lake, it was very, very cool. In fact, like if I were to come up here again and like I was, struggling to get bit, and it was one of those times, I would 100% go back to one of these lakes.
Yeah,
absolutely. We had an absolute great time. I think the plan is that because the main reason why we figured we were going to come up here was to scope out the scene and see if this was a fishy community that had enough going on to keep the spouses engaged and entertained, while we go and fish and whatnot. And I think that's a possibility. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think, dude, wait till you see that. If you saw that place, like even around where you guys are, the motel, like I've been there, like, peak season, it's crazy. It's like, dude, there's just people walking around everywhere. All those shops are all open. And like, it's actually like, it's crazy how big, like, especially like when you take a right out of the hotel there.
Oh yeah.
Like that area where you have to take the left to go back out.
Yep.
Like, dude, that area is just packed with people. Like, just shoulder.
Chris was telling us that they have an open container policy where you're like, you can be at the bar and ask for a plastic cup like you're at Vegas.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
so kind of like, it's like it's Vegas. So as long as you're just going from like one place to another or whatever. Yeah. Yep. Which I actually didn't know that. That's good to know.
I'm like, that is definitely good to know, because if you're going to bar hop and you're just like, this place is dead. So we had a good time, man. It was pretty badass. I can't complain. But why don't we go ahead? You know what? I was thinking about it. Let's talk about the 300th episode stuff, because we only have the FTG. We don't really have like we have a just the tip and an FTG. Why don't we'll follow after FTG with the 300th info, and we'll go ahead. We'll get into our headlines, and I'm gonna play the intro, but I'll give you a cue when it's done, Joe, because technology.
So you said FTG. Is this the headline you mean?
The headline, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm deep.
I was
in
like,
the sauce.
wait a second.
Where even is
Did you miss the part of our story where we went to the dock before we came over?
I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if my brain was working right.
Like two spicy margaritas. It was a mess. Go ahead.
Oh, I had a couple margaritas today after I spent all that money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so pickerel catch and keep order leads to a bald eagle buffet? Let's talk about it. So, thanks to a catch and kill order put in place last spring, injured raptors are feasting on fresh fish, courtesy of Nova Scotia's anglers. Pickerel from across Nova Scotia are being donated to the Copequid Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, where bald eagles eat well until they are healthy enough to go back to the wild. They definitely enjoy eating that type of fish, said Brittany Green, a longtime volunteer, in an interview with CBC. And big trouble is exactly what chain pickerel have brought to Nova Scotia's lakes and rivers since being illegally introduced in the 1940s. The aggressive predators, marked by their signature black chain-like pattern, have chewed through populations of native trout and salmon, throwing delicate ecosystems out of balance. Now they're on the menu and under government orders to be removed. So some asshole probably brought them up there and is like liable or whatever. And was just like, here you go. As of April of this year, anglers across Nova Scotia are required by law to kill every chain pickerel they catch, according to the Nova Scotia Department of Fisheries. It is now mandatory to retain all chain pickerel in all waters of Nova Scotia. The same applies to smallmouth bass in designated zones, and failure to comply could result in fines ranging from $100,000 to $500,000 and up to 2 years in jail. While anglers have voiced concerns about losing access to sport fishing opportunities, many of the kept fish are now being put to a good use.
Yeah.
Thanks to consistent fish donations, anglers are now not only helping protect their province's native fish, they're also fueling the rehabilitation of injured bald eagles at the Wildlife Center. Without local anglers, we'd have a much harder time feeding this many eagles, said Dr. Jessica Rock. The Copequid Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, tucked into a rural Colchester County, is home to dozens of recovering raptors, many of them bald eagles. Each bird can eat several pounds of food per day, and with chain pickerel now flowing into the center regularly, it's a win for the wildlife. And it kind of goes on to talk about the program a little bit, but man, that's wild.
That is wild.
What cool. But you know what? Like,
At least they're not just being thrown in the parking lot and rotting.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. They or their snout or their throats or their gills aren't being cut and just thrown right back in the water. So it's kind of like when when a deer or something gets hit by a car and they donate it to food banks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so at least it's going to good use. I like that. You know, we got to take care of our birds of prey, especially. I mean, I'm surprised they do that because that's our bird. Bald eagle's America's bird.
Yeah, Eli chimes in. He goes, "It's weird to hear that there's a kill order on smallmouth in some areas."
Look at Alaska. Alaska has the same deal. Like, there's rivers in Alaska that they're killing the salmon population and steelhead. So they're like, it's the same deal. You're required, like, not you should. It is like you'll lose your fishing license if you don't.
Yeah.
Do you know Alaska has a state record largemouth bass?
Really?
Yeah, it's like 13 inches.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'll bet you.
Yeah.
I think it's the only recorded largemouth bass ever caught in Alaska.
That's funny.
How the hell they even get up there?
Dude, you know what it is? Someone
what-
probably had it in like a fucking fish tank or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have.
And then, yeah.
It must have. It's just wild. It's wild to me. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead. We'll take a short break, reconvene. We got Adjust the Tip coming up. We got an FTG. We hear from somebody in this FTG. That's just, it's very good. This one, it's long, but it's good. And we're going to talk a little bit about the 300th episode that's coming up on January the 24th in Springfield, but it's also going to be live streamed as well. We're going to talk about some of the prize sponsors who are supporting this and an announcement of our title sponsor as well. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far. More Jigs and Bigs goodness coming up right after this.
And perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
It's true. We're going to learn a little bit, guys. We're going to do some learning is what we've got lined up. So what we got to do is this week's Just the Tip. We're taking a little snapshot from what happened in the St. Lawrence River and the frustration we dealt with and some ideas of ways that you can go ahead and kind of like flip it around and stay focused and not crash out. Seems like people are crashing out a lot lately. You know, how can you avoid that? So let's face it. Everybody's going to have those days on the water where the fish they're not going to cooperate. Not happening. You might be throwing your confidence bait or working prime spots. You might have some hot intel and you're still just coming up with nothing. It happens to everybody, whether you're a beginner, a weekend warrior, a seasoned pro, all that. We all go through it. What separates a good angler, though, from a frustrated one is how you handle the tough days. So a couple of tips here, primarily to help you reflect before you get crazy and react over it and, maybe start listing things on Facebook Marketplace because you're done, like that kind of thing. Have the conditions change. Consider that. Look at temperature, look at wind, look at cloud cover, look at patterns, all that kind of stuff. A cold front or a pressure shift can totally change fish behavior. Just, be aware that might be it and consider the options. Where are the fish likely holding now? Maybe they've moved a little deeper or tighter to cover into shaded areas. Maybe in our situation, you're fishing a brand new body of water and you don't necessarily have it dialed. So you're kind of going into the great unknown and having to figure it out as you go. Also, are you fishing too fast? Have you slowed down your presentation or varied your cadence? Sometimes a smaller bait or a slightly different or a slower retrieve can make a huge difference. And then, of course, it's all about mindset in this situation. Fishing is as much of a mental endeavor as it is physical. And a few ways that you can stay positive when things get rough are set small wins. Don't look at the big, don't set yourself up for something that's so difficult to achieve. Keep it small. Don't necessarily aim for the biggest fish. Focus on learning something new or finding solid pattern or perfecting a cast. Essentially, find a little bit of value in what you are doing out there. And if you can do that, you can kind of turn things around. Remember the reason why you're out there. You're fishing, you're outside, you're on the water, you're doing something that you love. That alone is going to beat sitting on the couch, and it's definitely going to beat a day at work. There's a reason why they say that. It's better than working, right? It's true. And then some ideas for, I should say I'm missing something here. Use those tough days as lessons. Every trip or every slow trip can give you a plethora of things to learn. Where not to fish is a major one. And people make jokes about that one a lot. I think we did for sure.
Yeah.
When we were on the boat.
Yeah, literally.
We know where the fish aren't.
I was like, Chris was like, there's usually fish here. And then we'd go and there wasn't fish here. And I literally, at one point, I looked at Chris and I go, hey, where do you not fish?
Yeah.
Because maybe that's where they are, because we've gone to all the places you do fish.
It's true. And, but think about it. Like that information where they're set up, you're like, okay, so let's take a snapshot, figure it out. What can we learn from this? What weather does what to a fish's mood? Things like that. That's going to help you. Or even how your gear reacts, to certain situations. Like in our situation, it was pretty fucking heavy current. We really kind of had to throw excruciatingly heavy stuff that we weren't necessarily maybe planning on 100%. A lot of 3/4 ounce shit was getting thrown around. A lot.
I didn't even know they made 3/4 ounce tubes. Did you know they make 3/4 ounce tube heads?
Oh yeah,
only because of up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say and it was a local guy. It was not something you were buying from like a big name. It was like some dude it's pouring his own stuff.
Like a lot of those Great Lakes anglers, they're going to be using them there, and all those connecting water systems. It makes perfect sense. And there are some tips, as we wrap things up, that you can do tactically that you might want to consider. And these aren't necessarily like guarantees. Hey guys, it's fishing. It's very hard to guarantee anything other than it's water. Go finesse. If they're not biting, go as downsized as you possibly can and make it as appealing as possible, as easy to eat. Ned rigs, wacky worms, smaller jigs. They can tempt fish that are a little bit more neutral. Change angles. Look for a different way to make a cast to present that bait to fish if you know that they're there, especially. And then mix it up. Change your colors. You change your speed. Change sizes. Even changing your line, or even the rig that you're throwing, the combo that you're using. Make a change and kind of learn from it. Try to take something away with it. And when you can eliminate items, you can kind of dial in a little bit closer to what's working. That you at least hope. Just basically know that every single angler is going to go through the slumps. The key here is to learn and adjust and keep your head right. Some of your best days are going to come right after one of your worst days. And if you stick with it, keep your chin up, keep your line wet, and remember, tough fishing builds the better anglers. It's just a fact, Jack. That's what it is. So what, Joe, like specifically from like the tournament angler perspective, right? And Ben, you too. You guys are both in tournaments. How does this fit in there? Because it's one thing to say, like learn from it or remember the reason that you're out there. But I feel like that kind of can resonate with everybody.
Yeah, dude. In all honesty, it's tough. Like when I'm fun fishing, like I can kind of put that mindset like you just explained. And I'm sure Binya can relate to what I'm about to say. That's nearly impossible when you're in a tournament because there's so much on the line. I mean, you got money into it. It's when you're not catching fish, you get so deep into your own head where you're like, oh my God, how am I not? I guarantee everybody else is catching fish. And, and
it's your first thought every time is, I'm not doing it and everebody else is.
Yeah.
Yep. So it is very, very hard to not beat yourself up and dude, there's been tournaments I haven't caught a single fucking fish. You know what I mean? And there's been tournaments where I haven't caught a single fish and a lot of people didn't as well. There was a tournament where I didn't catch a single fish and everyone else did. And those are the ones where you're like, that's when you're like,
boat for sale.
I'm selling my boat. Exactly. I'm selling my boat, my shit. But the perspective that, and I've talked about on the show, what people don't understand, you watch an Elite Series or MLF and you go online, not even watch it. You go online and look at the standings because they don't talk about this when it's being televised or whatever.
No. Yeah.
Look at the entire standings.
Yeah,
go down to the bottom and look how many people don't catch fish.
Yep. Yeah.
In those big ass tournaments, or only catch one fish or two fish. So it happens to everybody, but it's, when you're putting a monetary value to it, it's tough to get out of your own head and to just be like, oh, well, at least I'm outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can totally see that. That makes sense.
Yeah. So but when it comes to the fun fishing and just going out and enjoying it, 100%, you absolutely nailed it. Like, there's been times where I haven't caught shit, like just out fun fishing. And there's been times where I just laid out, I put spot lock on, I just lay out on the deck and I enjoy it. Or I just like, it's.
I did that on Saturday. I literally laid across the back deck and was just like taking a nap.
Yep, you have to.
We're getting on plane and he's in the back.
They were literally on plane and I just stuck my hand out to brace myself and just stayed there.
Yep. Yeah, and you have to. But like, yeah. So it's tough on the tournament side. It's tougher. I wish I could do that. I personally have not been able to do that, and I don't know any tournament angler that has. So
no, the only thing I try to do to console myself is and it sounds really stupid because it sounds obvious, but like I'm like, I only need 5. I have 8 more hours. I only need 5.
Yeah.
Like, and then but even then, like you said, the problem with it is until I get a limit, I'm anxious anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, I need a limit. Once I get a limit, I'm like, okay, now at least I have that. I have the minimum number of fish that I have to have. And then from there it's different.
And what's even worse sometimes is when it takes you all day to get the limit.
Yeah.
You don't get the limit till like right at the end. You know what I mean? So you felt that anxiety. It's
time.
almost as bad as not catching anything. You know what I mean? Where you're like, so.
And it makes you make bad decisions. That's the thing I had to learn was like, it makes you pivot too hard. Like sometimes you go so drastically off from what you should do. You're like, well, they're not doing exactly what they should do. So I'm going to go do the opposite side of the lake. What I do a lot is I move too much.
Yeah.
I will end up getting on overdrive where in a situation where I should take my time to pick apart an area, I'll just do 2 laps around the lake. The one lake that I did that, matter of fact, that was with Sean the fisherman was running the tournament trail. I threw a tantrum at the end of a tournament that I blanked and just left. Mm-hmm. I literally threw my kayak on the trailer and I texted the group on the way out saying, I'm not going to be good company. I'm out. And I just drove home 3 hours.
Was that the one near my house?
Yeah, actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a Noda.
No, it was. I was actually it was near your house.
Oh, right.
So it's funny because I blanked one tournament and then I went and specifically pre-fished. And for me, for those who don't understand, that's a 3-hour drive one way to fish all day and drive home and then go back again. And I pre-fished and I had this whole delusion that, and this is another thing in the tournaments world too, is like, that's the other thing that goes with this mindset is like, the fish don't care that you have a plan.
Nope. They're fish.
They do not care about your plan at all. Yeah. So like,
you're 100% right. You could know all the science behind the fish, all the scientifics. You could know the patterns, the weather patterns, the water patterns. At the end of the day, the fish are going to do what the fish want to do.
Yeah.
They didn't read the rule book.
It's not always going to. Yeah, it's exactly. It's not always going to fit your mold. So
yeah, it's true. It is crazy. So it's interesting shit. I hope you guys are ready because what we have lined up here is out of this world. And Joe, I apologize that you're not going to be able to hear any of this. You know what? You know what? Maybe I'll do this. Joe, would you prefer if I didn't play this through the show and instead just edited it in? It's not like any of the jig heads are going to get to hear it anyway. And nobody wants to sit here it's 4.5 minutes long. This FTG.
I think you should do that. And then we can, and then I can listen to it and then we can talk about it next week.
Exactly. I love that. So we're going to do that.
Hey man, this Junior man, I just want to call in and it's been a while since y'all heard from me. I've been out running around, man. I went down to North Carolina with some people I met, and they come to my door the one day, and they had on their nice slacks and their white shirts, and they was talking about the Bible and whatnot, and they wanted to basically They said they was gonna make me a fisherman. And I said, well, I ain't been doing too good at the pay lake lately, man. Maybe y'all can help me. Nah, I've been down there with them boys for a few weeks, man. I'm missing out on my family and whatnot. And, these boys, we was down there talking about church the whole time, man. And we never got to do no fishing. I kept asking them, hey, man, when you gonna make me a fisherman? And they said, we're going to make you a fisherman, all right. Just stick around, man. Just listen to the word, man. We'll get you there. And it just kept going and going. And not once did we ever touch water, man. And finally figured it out. They was talking Bible stuff. They was talking about me fishing for men. And that's when it started getting weird for me, man. He said, no, there, Junior. We're going to make you a fisher of men. And I don't swing that way, man. So I got out there pretty quick and decided to come back home. And I come home and Bubba's out of jail, but he's AWOL. I done tried to get a hold of him several times. I can't seem to get a hold of him. He told my sister he's going to do some river fishing, and he ain't taking my calls. And I ain't heard from him, man. And I'm probably going to spend some time looking for him, trying to find him, And I want to tell y'all, man, we didn't mean to make this our family business on your show. But hell, it started over some damn beer. Bubba don't even drink beer no more. Can y'all believe that? How the hell? Anywho, I'm going to be looking for Bubba, but I did want to call a FTG in on my cousin, man. He's the one that got us listening to your show. Me and Bubba was trying to get him to fish with us all the time, but he said he don't like pay lakes because it's unethical. What the fuck is unethical about trying to win some money, man? Anywho, so I won't mention his name. I know that fucker's probably listening right now. But he only lives about 90 miles north in fucking Buckeye State, fucking jackass. He's all uppity now because he can't. Hey, man, it's Junior again, man. Something wrong with your machine. You hanged up on me, man. Anywho, back to my cousin. That fucker, he won't go fishing with us for nothing. Don't like to do the pay laking and only wants to fish in the fucking river. He'll drive fucking 200-300 fucking miles to go catch a fucking guppy, but he won't come, 80 miles, 90 miles down here and fish with me and Bubba. But I just, fuck him, man. Fuck him. He's part of the reason Bubba done up and run off. And fucking my sister, she don't fucking talk to me. She done moved on with a real boyfriend. I didn't even fucking, man. And let me get back on that Bubba bullshit. I can't believe they was lying and playing me the whole fucking time, making me look like a goddamn moron. But anywho, fuck my cousin Jay, man. That motherfucker. You gotta show he's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. He did get me on to y'all, but we didn't mean to let our old family bullshit spill over. Anywho, fuck my cousin Jay, man. And, I'm still gonna be listening, but I gotta go find Bubba, man. I miss my brother, man. I've been in North Carolina with them goddamn weirdos that want to make you fish for men or whatever. Anywho, y'all have a good one, tight lines, and maybe we'll see you on down the line, man. This is Junior signing out.
Well, let's jump into it and talk about some of the other news this week that I have been busy with, and that's organizing the 300th episode party, which I am very, very excited with. We have tickets slated to be dropped on available for either the live stream or the in-person event, and it's going to be the same ticket. You get the ticket and you can make it. Sweet, awesome. You get the ticket. You can't make it. It's okay. There's the link there. You got the live stream, so you're good to go. So everybody, just go ahead and do what you got to do. There's no choices for whatever tickets. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's talk about our prize sponsors, because I put a little bit of the work in this week as far as getting some stuff together. And we have a good handful of folks that have some prize stuff or some items up for grabs. And I'm going to talk about a couple of the door prize items, because for those of you that are looking to be there in person, this will benefit you for sure. And then there's a little other nugget in here of information I want to drop as well regarding jigs and bigs and future shit. So let's dive into it. Prizes so far, we've got Fish or Die. Heard from Taylor. He's going to put together a handful of prize packs, like different variety of baits and stuff like that. So Fish or Die, so you're going to have some quality stuff from them. And in fact, by the time this rolls around, there may even be some new stuff that's available. Who knows?
I hope so.
Pig Jigs is had a conversation with Nate today. In fact, I'm trying to get a handful of these guys that are up for it to travel and set up a table right where we are. One of those will be probably returning, and then I think there's one or two other ones that I might drop in there as well. Pig Jigs is doing 3 different prize packs. That'll be a mixed bag of different jigs that they have, and these could be ultralight jigs, or they could be more conventional jigs, because a lot of folks think, like, because I fish a lot of the smaller stuff they've got some conventional stuff.
Their convention. I was throwing Pig Jigs today. Their stuff it's pretty awesome,
pretty badass. And Nate had mentioned something about some hats, doing some like custom color hats or like a collab hat or something like that. So these will be limited edition, be pretty cool. Talked with Corey over at HH Customs. He's going to put something together and get me some information on what they're doing specifically for prizes. Also spoke with Kevin from Biohazard Bassin. Now, he is doing some wood carving. He's making some baits and stuff. He's like, I can put together some wooden baits. And then he said, how about I do a Jigs and Bigs limited engraved cutting board?
That'd be cool.
Like, how cool is that? Klondike Custom Creations, Matt there was like, yeah, we'll do some wire baits and a couple of plugs. Boston Anglers talked with Maddie, and Maddie's doing a variety pack of the 5.5, 4.5, and the 7-inch craws, like a little mixed bag. So we're going to be mixing some stuff up there. We got some great stuff from Andy's Heat Your Meat Ultimate Combo Pack. I don't know if you've gotten your hands on this, but it's pretty badass. And we got a bunch of Tiny's hand-tied jigs here, $100 value jig box, and a jig pack for the door prize, which brings me to this. If you're in person, we are going to be giving away an additional prize. The little bits from all of our prize sponsors are going to go into like a big gift like basket like this. You can win a whole bunch of different stuff. And this is going to include, like, there's other companies that are not necessarily fishing tackle per se, but stuff that you may be very interested in. And along with that, that's going to be one of the door prizes. I am taking one of the in-person guests out for a day fishing in my boat. That's going to be one of the prizes. And Joe, you and I talked a little bit about this before. Are you still in? You want to do one as well?
Absolutely, 100%.
So what we'll do is we'll plan on something like that. And this trip, who knows how this is going to work? This will kind of be freaking nuts. So yeah, there's going to be, the reason why we're doing this as a door prize is because most likely these folks are going to be within a handful of hours of driving, and we'll be able to kind of coordinate it and stuff. It'll be pretty cool. So, I mean, Eli, you should come out. You should absolutely come.
They make airplanes, Eli.
And we are currently working on some kind of a recommended lodging, and I don't know, maybe some kind of like a group rate or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. We're trying to work on some details for that.
I talked to the source for that the other day, and
nice.
And he's like that shouldn't be an issue. So
that's awesome. No, that's great. Yeah. Brandon's coming up. That's awesome, dude. I'm telling you, beautiful Springfield, Massachusetts is just like, it's the place to be, especially in January when all the Christmas cheer is gone.
I'm gonna come.
Exactly, right? It's been a while since I used that rim shot right there. Yeah, man, we got just some crazy stuff. So that's going on, but there is a little bit of an announcement. Benny and I have been doing a lot of shit, like in the last year, collabs, videos, and stuff like that. We do have a little bit of an announcement that officially, as of the 2026 season for the Jigs and Bigs Tournament online series, Mike Hansen, Binya, is your new tournament director. Officially. Thank Christ. I don't have to do this anymore. But I'll tell you, the reason why I offered it up to Binya was because I can trust him. He is a stickler for details. And on top of that, like he has experience in the catch photo release tournament world. So that's going to help out a lot. But what the other benefit is that this goes back to the dynamic that the tournament series had with me when we had Sean overseeing all of the tournament stuff. That means that now I can put all of my focus on promotion and growing it and trying to reach new people and do some interesting stuff. And Mike is on he's on the same page as far as like where this thing can go. So some of the things in 26 that you're going to see, like I already mentioned, months ago, that the monthly scavenger hunt is going to be disappearing, but we're going hard with the opens and the championship. Now, the open for October is coming up, and it's coming up fast. It all starts on the 20th. So we're a little over a week away. If you're listening to this show right now on Spotify, like we're less than a week away from the open starting. That's kind of what I use today's fishing was practice for, like just getting into like tracking down a bunch of them, and I did. So we got that lined up. We also have the slot limit series for October launches on the 18th of this month. So that is just next Saturday. So as soon as this drops, I'm right in the description. There is a link for you to go and check out the registration if you want to get in on it and make it happen. But in 2026, we have some stuff happening that's going to be really exciting. There will be a handful of months where instead of doing one slot limit series, there will be multiples. This will hopefully allow some folks that want to get in at certain times of the year, but maybe it happens to be on a Saturday where they're not available for one reason or another, they can get on the other one. And eventually there's talk about doing some team stuff, to kind of get interesting and
like it,
and possibly even like a 5-fish trail.
At least one tournament.
At least one. I mean, there's talk about it. I think it'll be kind of fun. But
let's just say there's an entire Word doc on my computer at work that I've been typing up ideas, and it's
hell yeah.
That's why Bobby.
Mike.
Wow, I can do both, but ADHD is a wonderful drug when it comes to multitasking. Let me tell you.
John says, I'm still down to help with suggestions for species. John, your ears must have been ringing last night because Mike and I were talking about exactly that. Yes. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, and be aware that part of it comes from Bobby. Me and Bobby would be hanging out, and he would be like, man, I gotta judge all these fish. Or he would be like, he was getting frustrated with it. And I'll be honest, like I've literally like sent Bobby pictures from like tournaments that I was in, and I was like, hey, this might be a dupe. Hey, this, and I was like, I'm more than happy to take on the responsibility, and I have some ideas. I actually wanted to start my own online trail. I was thinking about doing my own trail next year. And it just makes more sense with my connection with Jigs and Bigs. And honestly, we already have a group that's doing our trails. So why not just make it all one big happy family, and we can run it together? And
for sure.
I love that. Brandon says he's here to help promote. I love that. Yep. Todd says he's going to need a partner for that. Fuck yeah. He was getting bait materials yesterday. Oh shit. Fucking A.
Head east, Todd. You can hop on my boat.
Hell yeah. So make some shit happen. So let's go ahead and take a short break. We're going to come back. We got a couple of questions in our live well that we got to go through, and they're good ones. I think these questions this week are actually really, really, really fantastic questions, and we're going to have some fun answering them. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well, where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.
Oh man, I hope you guys are ready. Eli called this week, and he called with the heat. He asked what I think is probably one of the coolest questions, because this is the little shit that I think really shapes an angler. Let's go ahead and listen to what Eli has to say.
Hey, it's Eli. I got a question for the live well. I just this past weekend could not find a pair of snips that I had for cutting line and stuff like that, so I was trying to reline stuff. Is there a tool that you cannot live without? Like, if you lost it, you'd immediately replace it. Is there something like that you have? For me, it was these snips from Boomerang. They're on a lanyard, and I used to like cut everything with just like kid scissors, but as soon as I got these if I ever lose them, immediately replace them. So is there a tool like that you cannot live without? Yep, bye.
So he's talking about like a tool that you use specifically. For him, it was these, and I think I actually know the same. He says they're Boomerang brand, the little line snips, and they come on a lanyard. And I think it's one of those retracting lanyards. So it's like you just can't lose them. It's awesome. I know what mine is. I'm curious, Joe, what yours is.
Mine's easy.
Oh, okay. Live scope.
A net.
Oh, a net.
I actually, specifically a net with like the silicone netting too, not like.
And here's why. So I mean, Bobby's fished with me.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I actually use my net to catch fish.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, unless I'm up on like the St. Lawrence with those big ass fish, then I'm using my net. But I boat flip 90% of my fish. I have caught more shit that has fallen off my boat.
Yep.
To include sunglasses, phones, lures that broke off. I've gotten nets that have come in clutch to get lures out of trees. Ask Taylor from Fish or Die about that one. It's on one of my videos from West Point Lake. When it comes to I break a rod and I'm like, I'll replace it when I replace it. I can use like a different one. I break a reel. I have backups for that already. Yeah. When it comes to cameras, I got 2, so I don't have to get it immediately. But dude, a net, I don't fuck around with nets. It might sit in the deck, not even on the deck. It might sit in one of the compartments for months without touching it.
That's crazy.
But I feel better. I feel better knowing that it's there because, dude, like I've said, I have scooped up one of my phones with a net. Yeah. And I just it fell and I saw it doing this thing and I just so happened to have the net on the deck and I was able to get it. Lure retrieval. I mean, when we were down at West Point, Taylor got the one lure that was hitting, and it was the only one we had on the boat. The one that the fish was in a tree, dude.
I remember seeing that on the video.
Yeah.
So that was wild.
And it was the net that got it out. On the flip side, I go through nets like crazy. Like I think this upcoming season, like I talked about when I went to iCast, I saw that new Bubba net coming out. I think I might buy that because it was just so awesome. But I mean, I step on my nets and I break them. There's one of my nets is on the bottom of Lake Ontario when I was doing the run out to one of the islands out there. Like I lose them like crazy. But yeah, a net. But like when Taylor and I, Taylor actually accidentally broke my net, stepped on a net and broke it. We immediately went to the shop to get one.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That is mine.
Especially if you're like a kayak angler and you don't have like a live well, a place to put your fish while you like get everything ready or, whatever you're doing. If you're trying to get some, a photo or whatever, you don't have that, luxury of having that. But that's a really good one. What's yours, Benya?
So my original one was going to be a net, but Joe already did this. So I'm gonna bring up some history that happened recently. A replacement prop.
Oh, okay.
Because with my pedal drive, it applies to boats too. But I recently in a tournament basically dislodged my prop from my pedal drive kayak, and I had to paddle the rest of the tournament because I didn't have. So I bought 2 to replace the one I broke, and I will consistently have not only the prop but all the proper tools I need to change it on the water, because being stuck on the opposite end of the lake in 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts and having to paddle a kayak that, let's be honest, was never meant to be paddled.
No, not the Titans. No way.
It was awful.
Oh, you run a pedal drive, right?
Yeah, so I run a pedal drive, but I have no motor either. So I'm straight pedal or paddle power. Well, literally what I had to do, Joe, is I hooked my kayak to my teammate's kayak. And he basically dragged me around all tournament. Because as soon as I would I'd paddle my butt off, and then as soon as I took a 5-second break, I would move back 20 feet.
That's nuts.
So it was awful.
That terrifies me about my boat because that's a 4-figure fuck up.
I was gonna say,
100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's a big.
So that terrifies me, dude.
Joe, I should tell you, one of the prize sponsors I'm trying to work with is a prop manufacturer.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm working. I gotta figure out how to work this.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? That's the.
I'm not. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Just
I like
a little
it.
gift card would be great. Like there's a lot of people that have boats. You know what I'm saying? And there's some value here. They know somebody who has a boat. They do a solid.
We know people that have boats.
We know people that have boats.
We could get them a little business, so it could be a very
exactly
virtuous cycle, as Zach would say.
Non-spons, but maybe we spons a little bit.
Yeah, maybe
we spons.
Just a little taste.
Are you guys ready? I'm gonna blow your minds with the fucking accessory that I have to have when I lose, because I lose them regularly. And I can't even say there's a brand specifically, because I want to say Boomerang makes them, as does, there are some Bass Pro branded ones, but these are these small 5-inch pliers. And they have a small section that's like braid shears. They have I've seen them in both versions. I usually get the split ring one, because then I've got that accessory there as well, like a split ring plier right there as well. But this is such a perfect little, I like to keep this in my bank bag. And if I don't have my pliers or something, and I fish a hook, or I have a fish that's got the hook a little bit deep or something, these are really small, and I'm able to usually make things work with them very, very well. I use them a lot when I'm on the bank. I used to have them. It was the same lanyard, retractable, and I would just keep them in when I was on the kayak, hanging around my neck. And as I needed them, I could just pull them and use them, let go, they'd zip right back. It was awesome. Yeah, I will. But the last time I bought them, I bought a 3-pack, and they're cheap. I want to say they're between $5 to $7, depending on where you get them. Maybe even less. But I'd say in that window, I think I bought a 3-pack for $12 on Amazon.
Yeah,
I'm down to my last pair, but I love them.
You know, it's another one that, knock on wood, I've never had to use.
Yep.
But you guys should have them on your boat, and anyone who fishes should have it on their boat. I've never had to use it, but they're there. Fucking metal snips.
I have them. I've had.
That's a really good idea.
You get hooked, and you got to cut the hook out of yourself.
I had to have one hook. I ended up removing myself, and I had one that I got stuck in my side so bad I had to have it surgically. Well, not surgically, but I had to go to urgent care. And since then, and I will say this too: if they're being stored in your boat, put them in some sort of waterproof container.
Yeah, you don't want
they rust out quick.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that, dude! I want tetanus.
Yeah.
If I was stupid enough to hook myself, I'd give myself tetanus.
You deserve it.
I actually bought two. You have to be careful with if you look, and you can get them. They're not expensive, but Harbor Freight, they make they're spring assisted ones. Because if you're doing a big 4-aught EWG hook, a cheap dollar store diagonal cutter is not going to cut the barb off that.
It's not.
But they make ones that, and they're not that expensive, but they have a spring in them, and it gives you that little bit of leverage to cut it, because you're not going to cut it with a cheap one.
That's a good point.
Yep.
I've never made it 10 years without a tetanus shot, if that gives you any perspective on how required this tool is.
Yeah.
Once I'm out of the military, I'm never gonna get it. I'm never gonna get a vaccine ever again. So I told myself I would never get one ever again. So dude, I'm gonna have all the fun stuff. I'm gonna have tetanus. I'll probably get I don't know, hepatitis.
I was just watching this YouTube video. I forget what the creator's name was, but he was like, "I will never do this again." He was like, "This." I was out fishing, and this made me so sick. He gave himself salmonella.
Yeah, Bobby was telling me about this.
He was bleeding out a bunch of walleye in the live well, and he had all this bloody, filthy water and shit. And he never washed his hands. And he finished fishing, and he was doing whatever. And he goes, he was sitting in the truck, I think, eating a sandwich, and he was like, "This fucking tastes weird." And that's what it was. He got tested, and it came up for salmonella. He's like, I felt like my insides were on fire.
What's crazy is how much. I mean, I don't know what the requirement to catch that is. Does it have to be? Because I handle fish and don't wash my hands all the time.
I think it's the blood.
It's got to be blood. I think. Okay.
I think that's got to be part of it.
Yeah.
Because you think about
it's like
Todd,
who had. Dude, who do we know? Oh, it's Dave that got that like skin
That
fucking
skin
thing.
Oh, yeah.
dude,
That's
that
right.
was, that was,
It was
he
Dave,
sent me
that's
pictures of that, like when it was at
Yeah.
its worst, dude. That was gnarly.
Yeah, that was rough.
He's still got scars from it. Like it scarred his
Yeah,
hands.
it's nuts.
I
though.
can't believe that. Like just from being spined. Like it's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like that's. I think I've told you the story, Bobby. My dad was in Florida fishing.
Yeah.
Visiting family, and I don't know what kind of catfish it was, but he caught a catfish, and it like he was like barefoot because he's just on the bank at my uncle's property, and like he hooked it, and it like came off the hook, and he just like stepped back to get out of it, and fucking had the barb in his foot, and he had like got the barb in his foot. He ended up in the ER because he had a crazy infection.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
That's wild.
Had to stay there for like an extra week because of it.
Jeez, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's go ahead and pop this. This other question is an interesting one. This one comes in. So we had somebody call in, and it was a spouse of one of our listeners, I'm guessing, or maybe the spouse listens and called in with a question. Let's check it out.
Hello, this is for the live well. My husband is a fisherman, and I was wondering, with the holidays coming up, what are some good gift ideas that you guys suggest for someone who loves to fish? Thank you.
Okay. So she's asking, she has a husband that likes to fish, and with the holidays coming up, what are some good gift ideas for somebody who likes to fish? And I think I got this nailed. Jigs and Bigs merchandise. Hoodies.
There you go.
Shirts, hats.
Yep.
We've got stickers, magnets for your car. I mean, shit, we have a Bluetooth speaker available. You name it. All kinds of stuff. If they love Jigs and Bigs, jigsandbigs.com/store. They'll love you forever. But I say that seriously because I think that type of stuff is a great gift. So if you have somebody in your life you're looking to buy a gift for and they're an angler, find out what type of content they like. Maybe they're big into tackle talk. Maybe they're big into serious angler or bass and brews or the whole angler or cut and retie or BTL or, I don't know, pass the barb, in fisherman, whatever. There's podcasts everywhere, most of these podcasts have some merch. That's a great gift. It's a fantastic gift. And the reason why I say that is because buying baits, buying lures, buying rods and reels and line and accessories is an excellent thought. It really is. But it is so difficult to figure out what, number one, they need, and there's such a wide array of variables. So I say, find out a little bit about the content that they like. What would they appreciate? And then to go along with that, if you're but I want to do something big. I want to get them a real nice, a G Loomis rod. It's well, you'd have to figure out what they need in their arsenal or what they want to replace, what they would use it for, stuff like that. Everybody in their mind has this built together. Well, instead, maybe you get them a gift card to where they can go get that rod. You know what I mean? Yeah. On top of that. And then you give them something to open by making it a Jigs and Bigs hat. Something along those lines. Joe, I am really curious about your feedback as a previous shop owner. You guys must have gotten this question.
Oh, all the time. In So it's funny because I would have them come in and be like, "Hey, my husband fishes. What should I get him?"
Yep.
I'm like, "Well, I don't know. What does he fish for?" And they'll be like, "Oh, he fishes for tuna." I'd be like, "Well, nothing here."
Yeah.
No, so I actually love the question because it gave me the opportunity for that customer to, like you said, kind of think about it a little more deeply than they had gone in there doing. So, I have a wife or a spouse come in and be like, "Hey, my husband is into fishing. I'm trying to figure out what to get." Because gift cards are great, but I try to help them get something more personable. You know what I mean? And so they come in "Hey, my husband fishes." I go, "Cool. Do you know what he fishes for?" "Yeah, he fishes for bass." "Okay. Do you know where he fishes?" "Well, he fishes here." "Okay." And I would keep going into it, and I'd be like, "All right, so now I'm going to show you what come with me. I'm going to show you what I'm going to suggest. And here's why, and here's why I think he'll like it. And if he doesn't, return it. Yeah, bring it. And if he doesn't like this, have him come in. We'll have a conversation, and we'll
get him in the right direction. Yeah,
exactly.
That's awesome. I never even really thought about that, because it's a huge opportunity to create like a really solid foundation for a relationship with a customer.
Yep.
That's a really, really solid way to do it. That is absolutely freaking awesome.
Yep. We gave the gift card. Like, obviously some people come in like, hey, I just want a gift card. Cool. Like, here you go. Here's your gift card.
Yeah.
But if they're like, if they come in, because someone who's like, someone who wants a gift card is going to come in and say, I want a gift card.
Yep.
But somebody that, they kind of wanted something more especially the older generation, they kind of wanted something more personable, but they just have no clue. I try to guide them in the right direction. The big thing we try to do at that shop is like, and you know how it is. You go to the big box stores, they're like, okay, so he needs this monster, or this mega bass fucking poison rod with this, Shimano fucking,
like, well, if he's serious,
Vanford. Yeah, no, I'm like, okay, well, here's a couple lure. I was like, how much do you want to spend? Oh, well, I'd only like to spend like $30. Perfect. I was like, we'll get you we'll get you hooked up. Or like, oh, he wants a rod and a reel. I was like, I want to know, I was like, give me your budget, and I will ensure that we keep it under that budget. And if you know what, the stuff I pick is a little bit over, I'll work with you. We'll bring the price down a little bit, and we'll get you where you want to be, because I want to make sure that you're given the gift that you want. A
good experience and everything. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Good for you, dude. That's awesome. That's really, really good.
Yep.
Todd chimes in with a good one. He goes, a yearly subscription to a tackle store that gets them free shipping, like Omnia. That's a good idea. One of the ones that I think of immediately is a subscription box, especially if they're relatively new. Or if they're not relatively new, a subscription box that's a little bit more niche to kind of get them interested in stuff. So if it's crazy expensive, but there is, like, I believe it's the Hookup Tackle does a Bait Finesse, an ultralight box, or a JDM box, and it is super pricey. But if you're into that gear and they're like looking to, find shit that's in that niche, that's really good. But if you want to do it in maybe a more affordable and like digestible way, Dark Horse Tackle is your fucking go-to, man. 100%.
You know what, Bobby? I did a video about this on YouTube, but I'm going to tell everybody else there. Dark Horse, and this isn't just because I'm friends with Josh, Zach, that we're all friends with them.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why we continue to get their boxes, and we test them out or whatever. You originally had the Monster Bass box. You originally had the Jesus, I'm drawing a blank.
Mystery Tackle box.
Yep.
Yeah, Mystery Tackle. But they got like they just kind of got what's that term I'm looking for? They turned into like a big box within there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So now it was just like, and it was so obvious that you were starting to get the shit that just doesn't sell anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Getting like one mainstream bait and then 3 of their brand bait.
That was Monster Bass's big thing.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
And I said this on my video. Monster Bass's blanks were fucking trash. They were absolute hot garbage. I hope someone from there listens to this, reach out to me, and I'll tell you to your face that your blanks were absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Where I was getting at, Dark Horse doesn't do that, dude. They sit out there. They test every single thing, dude. They might have 30 companies send them a sample, and if all 30 of them suck, they're never going to see the box.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But
they're not just like
true.
Just because Bubba in his basement or whoever in their basement does these jigs and he sends 30 of them to them, it doesn't mean they're going to put them in the box.
Yeah.
Like if they're trash, they're going to send them back to him, and that's Go order. Subscribe to Dark Horse Tackle, everybody. Come on, darkhorsetackle.com. You can get the sample boxes now. There's so many different things you can do. Check it out. They got the bait shop. It's
all of it.
Phenomenal.
I was gonna say that, but that other thing is here's the thing from the tournament side, and Joe can appreciate this. So if you're going down a bank, and this happens all the time in a tournament, you go down a bank with a guy in front of you, there's a guy behind you, but if you're throwing something slightly different, you may get a bite that somebody else doesn't. And when you do something like a Dark Horse box, you're going to get a hand-painted bait that the guy in front of you probably doesn't have, because you can't go to Walmart and pick that up. So you're going to have a slight color variant that no one else has got on the water. So it gives you an advantage. And that's something that I've learned that I don't necessarily always... I was doing Dark Horse stuff before I was pro staff for them, but also like I was doing like the BYOB. They have like you can build your own box. Those are great. Buy the stuff from. I ordered stuff from them last week, and then on top of it, they're now doing like perfect pairing. So they even have stuff that's like this bait goes with this trailer, which is awesome because if you don't know, you can send. You can pick that up too.
Well, I will tell you one of the things that I love that's new that Dark Horse is doing. Two things. First and foremost is that Dark Horse Tackle is the title sponsor of the 300th episode for this year's. So awesome. We love that. But the other thing is like the dabble pack.
Dabble packs are cool.
For those that haven't really looked into Dark Horse before, there was the Weekend Warrior box. It was like the full box, and then there was the dabble pack, which was almost like the sample of the box. This is like now they've kind of reimagined it, so now it's more of like supersizing your box. So if you are already a subscriber, like this might be a nice little add-on, or on the other hand, if you're like, oh, I'd like to do a whole year or something, but I'm not sure if they're going to like it. Well, then, maybe you do the dabble pack and it introduces them to it. And if it's something that they're really into and they want to, subscribe to the Weekend Warrior, then they can go ahead and do that. Or if they find like that one, bait that, or one or two baits that show up in the dabble pack, they love it. They can go restock at the bait shop, or jump into the virtuous cycle and go directly to that bait maker on their own too. Dark Horse is the shit. We love Dark Horse Tackle.
One other honorable mention in this is, and this is something that I think everybody would agree with, is you have to figure out, you probably know their clothing size if they're your family, but like a quality hoodie, like an actual good waterproof, sunproof hoodie, or like, because we go through a lot of clothes, and let's be honest, as fishermen, we end up like getting hooks in them and ripping them, and they get beat up. And
the sun is terrible.
You go through apparel quick. So, and it, like a good, honestly, hoodie is probably the thing that comes to mind the most, because it's like that thing that, you get up in the morning, you need that good warm hoodie so you don't have to wear 10 layers like we did to get on the water to not freeze your butt off. But, because a lot of times, and I'll be the first to admit, I'm not as I am very quick to go buy a rod, but I'm not as willing, as weird as it is, to spend a little bit less money on a good hoodie. I'll end up cheaping out and buying a crappy one, or I won't get that one good one that I really want for myself. So that's a good option as well. Like
apparel, just in general, and accessories are always going to be good for an angler for a gift. You know what I mean? What are the things that anglers are always going to need? Polarized sunglasses.
Yep.
It's a big deal. It's a little bit personal, like, you want to have the right kind of fit, or there's something that you like or something like that. But, that's something. Every angler's going to need some kind of a hat. It's just, it helps with the sun. It helps to keep you from burning the top of your head, all that stuff. But, shades your eyes. It's like, it's a big thing. So those kind of things, don't write them off. And if you're like, no, I want to do something really big and make some impact. Well, think about like building something out of a bunch of little parts, That's pretty badass. Boys, I think we did a pretty goddamn good show.
We did a great show.
I think this is probably one of the best remote shows that we've had, and I'm amazed how good the internet's behaved and the recorder and everything. This is so nice. I apologize, guys, for the technical difficulties. Our jig heads, you can listen to the entire show to hear the calls, hear the FTG. I recommend you check it out. It's going to be good. Joe, you have anything you want to wrap up with before we call it a night?
No, man. Like,
home run show.
Keep your heads up. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it in June next year.
I'm coming back.
Mark my words.
Definitely.
You guys
Yeah.
are coming.
Yeah, give me the dates. I'm already.
Yeah.
I'll put in for the time off tomorrow.
I will.
Perfect.
I have a couple of events already in June, but I'm not sure what an opening weekend is. But that's one thing I will say. I'm a little amazed that they have seasons for bass up here.
Strict seasons too.
Super strict.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
They do
Yeah.
not play up here at all when it comes to that.
Nope.
You can't even be like, "Oh, I was targeting pike." No, you're screwed. Don't get caught.
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's bad. You can't like some places would be like, "Oh, I was targeting pike," and they're like, "No, you were throwing
You just got to go walleye fishing before that date,
Yep.
Bobby. That's it.
walleye."
I have no
You just
problem
gotta
with
go
that
walleye
whatsoever.
fishing.
Yeah, I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah, leave it to me to come to the predominant smallmouth fishery in the country and catch
Catch
one
fucking
14-inch smallmouth and a fucking wall.
A walleye with scolioli. Scoli ravioli.
Dude, that's the most. We'll have to send you a picture, Joe. That thing was the most
Send it to me.
jacked up. Like, I'm not even
So
kidding you. Like actual
No shit.
you in front of the dorsal fin.
I think I actually have a picture.
Like, I had a hard time holding it up for the photo because I didn't want to bend it because I felt like I was going to snap him in half because it was like that
it was
jacked up.
yeah, it was messed up. You just feel bad for this fish. Yeah,
It
there
was-
we go. There we go. I'll send it to you right now, Joe. We'll get the reaction live on air. The look on your face, you needed that fish, Mike.
Dude,
you needed that fish.
So it was funny too because when I hooked into that thing, it was, dude, I have a fish. I think I have a fish. Oh my god, I have a fish.
want to go fishing?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. You see what I mean? Like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how it was still swimming.
You want to go fishing?
It was like U-shaped.
it was a survivor, you know? He swam back down there, and the other walleyes were like, "Jerry, where'd you go?" He's like, "They got me again. I seen some shit."
These ones didn't hit me with a bat though.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said the slot was this. Throw them back. Nobody's gonna know. You want to go fishing, guys? I'm going to hell. Oh my God! All right, guys, let's wrap this sucker up. You guys know that we are aware of how amazing our listeners are, and hold on, I gotta get this together. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day, but we appreciate you guys. Remember, just before we wrap, one serious thing before we wrap up, there is the slot limit tournament happening on the 18th of October. Registration link is in the description of this podcast, so go ahead, get in there and register. It's going to be awesome. And then starting on the 20th is the multi-species scavenger hunt open for October. We have a handful of anglers that are already entered in there. If you've never done one of these, just join in, sign up. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. 7 days to catch as many of the fish on the list as you can, and we got the championship coming up in May with the May Open happening as well. So good stuff coming up everywhere. Jigs and Bigs goodness just for you. We will see you guys in 7 days with more Jigs and Bigs fun, and in the meantime, like we always say,
Tits and ass, smoke some grass.